Okay. What's going on, LBHT crew B? What is going on?
I think you know what's going on. It's all Black Week.
It is all Black Week.
They're gonna look real good getting beat tomorrow.
He is talking about his Carolina Panthers. Stay tuned for my pick there. Okay. They had their hearts broken just a couple of weeks ago. Will this be revenge? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are listening to this podcast, it is Thursday at lunchtime. Hope your lunch is going well. And we hope that we can entertain you on your lunch break. All right. Give a couple of shout outs to the people in the chat real quick. Andrew Sakira, what is going on, my friend? He says, what up?
Andrew?
What's going on with you? Ravens Online Ungatekeepers. Our man Hendo says, LBHT crew, what's good? Just waiting for another fire stream, Jose and Brodny. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you. King 95 says, my guys, you're our guy, King. Okay.
What's up, King?
What's going on with you? Living Legends in the house. What's going on? Yes, Andre Mears is here. He is ready. Mr. J the Six says, LB Fire T crew. Okay. Yes, for the hotness. Yes. And no B, we are going to put up a better fight.
No, he ain't say we're gonna win.
A better fight means he's gonna win, though.
Okay. Notice he ain't say we're gonna win.
Yes, Dave Vaughn is in the house. It's hashtag LBHT crew. Raven Ron's here says, what up, LBHT? Whatever happened to Favre's story stealing from the poor? You know what?
It's continuing.
That we might have to add it to the overtime show. Thank you, Raven Ron. We are going to talk about that because there's more. There's even more. He gets even more despicable. Mm-hmm. So yes, we'll talk about that. Hey, maybe we'll talk about it on bonus time. We'll see. Dayon says, y'all know what time it is. We love Wednesdays. Indeed. All right. Let me add this to the stream real quick. Well, I'll do it during Black History Fact. That I don't have the pin linked up yet. I'm gonna put that up during Black History Fact. That is how we do our super chat for our stream elements, and also right below B $ LBHT Show. Okay. Man, look, the Ravens won Monday night. Okay. Now they're on a bye, and we have a lot to talk about. We got the Panthers playing tomorrow. We got other Week 10 games. And we got our mid-season predictions. All right. We don't do on-time predictions. We don't do beginning of the season predictions. We do way too early and mid-season after we can get some eyes on some players. Okay. That's how we do it. All right. We make safer predictions around here. Responsible predictions, if you will. All right, we're going to get this show started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History Fact, and B has a Black History Fact for you.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk a bit about Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Normally when we do these facts, I like to find somebody who is kind of inspiring a bit, somebody who was a first to do whatever they did or something like that. And this isn't really any different. It just has a little twist at the end, I suppose you could say. But Powell was born in 1908 in New Haven, Connecticut, and he grew up in Harlem in a pretty wealthy home. His family had actually been freedmen for several generations prior to the Civil War. So slavery was kind of taken out of his family very early on. So Powell, both of his parents are mixed race, and he was, well, actually, hold on, I didn't even put up there we go. Both of his parents were mixed race, and he was able to kind of pass as white. When he was younger, he was born with blonde hair and hazel eyes and things like that. He went to college and joined a white fraternity, and kind of just went along with the other black students there because there were only 3. He was at Colgate University. They were a little disappointed, and he went that route.
No.
But he had wanted to go into medicine, but his father kind of pushed him and wanted him to follow his footsteps and be a pastor. And so that's eventually what he did after he graduated from college. He became a Baptist minister and had one of the biggest congregations in the country. And once he got into that position of power, really, he kind of jumped into civil rights work. And he was advocating for fair housing. He was advocating for better employment for Black people. He led a couple of boycotts. They called it the only shop where you can work movement, saying, if this place doesn't hire Black people, don't shop there.
Right.
They protested the World's Fair. They went and picketed in front of the Empire State Building where the World's Fair's offices were, and increased the hiring by the World's Fair over 250% when it came to Black people. They had a bus boycott in New York, since most of the people who rode the bus were Black, but they didn't really hire a lot of Black people, so they organized a bus boycott, and had the bus service or department or transportation department hired over 200 more Black people, and it kind of set a precedent moving forward. And so, he did a lot of good work as a civil rights leader in New York. And then he kind of turned to politics. He became the first Black person on the city council, and then later on was elected the first Black congressman from New York City. Then things kind of took a little bit of a turn, I guess you could say.
Of course. It was all going well until.
Well, I mean, he was he was married 3 times, and his third wife was called before Congress and kind of investigated because she was on his payroll for 6 years and didn't do any work. She had actually moved back to Puerto Rico, where she was from, and was making over $20,000 a year for doing nothing. So essentially, stealing state funds.
Maybe she was working remotely.
No, she said no. No, I was not. But one of the lasting legacies that Powell left behind is that his conduct kind of inspired the permanent ethics committee in Congress. So
there you go.
So, it's always a silver lining, right? But I just thought he was a pretty interesting story because he started out as a guy who was very privileged, very, very privileged, and in fact would lie about being. He said he would go around and tell people that
going through the struggle.
His grandparents were born into slavery, which his grandparents were already like the third,
my brother,
the third generation of Powells who were born free. And you don't have to be of the struggle to be a part of the solution.
Yes,
right. And that's something as he matured, he kind of figured out and was able to do a lot of good before he did some more bad, but everybody does, right? Good and
nobody's
bad.
perfect, yeah,
right.
And I look at something like that as a hookup. That
I mean, it was his wife,
up.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Powell was again the first Black city councilman in New York, the first Black congressman elected from from New York, and like I said, did a lot of really great things and had a lasting legacy in politics.
All right. Shout out to you. That was a good Black history fact. All right. Look, he was one of the first Black men in power to give a hookup at work. Okay. Well, but might call it the greatest moments in hookup history. Okay.
Yes.
That's him right there. All right. All right. Let me give a couple more shout outs. Danity is in the house. What is going on? She says, tough game after the bye. Okay.
What's up, Danity?
Look, if B gets his way, it's not going to be tough for us at all. Okay. B is.
I appreciate you saying that, Danity. I do.
Let's see.
It's not if I get my way. That shouldn't be a tough game for Baltimore at all. They're much more talented than Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, look, Carolina has talent. It's one of those things where you know how we play. We play down to our competition, and they have enough talent to make things interesting, to say the least.
Carolina is more talented than Baltimore in exactly one position, and that is wide receiver 1, DJ Moore. That's it.
What about O-line?
I think eventually they'll be the better O-line.
But not right now?
Nah, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think right now you can say that.
Okay. Shout out to Yolanda B. She says, "Good evening, LBHT. Thank you for coming through, Yolanda. Appreciate it." Let's see here. We got Brandon Bezos says, "Coach sent us." I know where you came from, Brandon. We saw you yesterday. Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate it. Speaking of Coach, there he goes. He says, "Finally, the coach has come back to the LBHT show." Thanks for coming through, Coach. And make sure you are subscribed to Sip to Tally Films, where you can find us usually every Monday at 9 p.m. for the Ravens Roundtable.
But not this past Monday and not next Monday. So.
Yes. That's what I said usually.
Yeah.
But you can find us. You can watch other shows. You can watch other shows on our channel. He breaks down tape like no other. So if you're interested in Roquan Smith, if you're interested in Lamar, you're interested in wide receiver core, he's got tape on all those people. So make sure you subscribe and check him out. Our guy, Brandon Buck, is in the house. Says, "Hey, crew, what's up with you, Brandon? Thanks for coming through." Jared is in the house. Says, Salute to you, my friend.
Up, Jared?
Yes. All right. Everybody, Big Red says, "I hope everyone is having a blessed day." Thank you, Big Red. Thanks for coming through. Big Unc is in the house. Says, "Took me a minute to figure out what LBHT meant." It's right there. Lunch break hot take.
Yes.
Lunch break hot take. Yes. Did we get everybody? Yes. All right. Look, let's get this started, man. Let's get the top billing. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. All right. Look. Yes. Ravens beat the Saints. I don't have too much to criticize. I mean, there's always something to criticize, but I'm not going to do too much criticism of this team. They did what I said they better do after trading for Roquan Smith. Had a very dominant defensive performance. They gave up one touchdown that was, it was. Look, I say play to the whistle, right? You could say, hey, it was one of those things where, they thought he was out of bounds and they didn't want to get a flag right there, like, whatever. But outside of that, it was pretty dominant. What's going on? OTR Mike says, yo, LBHT about to turn up, baby. Yes. That is that's a little inside joke. If you watch our other channel, Ring Kings podcast, those are some words from Bud Crawford. Okay. About to turn up, baby. BOK Prime. Right. If you watch boxing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Yes. So look, Roquan Smith's debut, and he looked like Roquan Smith. Okay. Mm-hmm. He looked like a player that we just did not have on this team. He looked like a player that we keep hyping up as having on this team, but actually didn't. And now we have him, and now we see the difference. And his energy spread to everybody else, right? Yeah. I think everybody fed off of that. And I loved it. I love what I saw out there. Right. And this is somebody who said, hey, he's not even all up on the playbook yet. Right. So over this bye, he's going to get acclimated to the playbook. And it just goes to show you, right, these schemes and everything. Yeah, they can help. But at the end of the day, you just need guys that can play. And this man can play. So, that was a good part about it. The bad part, obviously, is the offensive side where, Lamar just has even less and less help. Deshaun Jackson did exactly what I thought he would do. One catch, couple of plays, and my hammy, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. So maybe. So that didn't feel good. Kenyon Drake had a good second half. First half, he kept on falling down. I was a little concerned about that. He didn't look that good, but second half, he took over, and they knew exactly what we were going to do, and they couldn't do anything about it. So, look, all around, I was happy with that win. B, you had any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I mean, you're playing a bad team who was made worse by injury. They were missing Michael Thomas. They're missing Jarvis Landry. They're missing Marshawn Lattimore. They're missing a few other players. Not a very threatening team over there, but normally we don't see Baltimore go out and just handle business, even against bad teams. So it's good to see that the defense played well, outside of a play here or there. The offense, they did what you would expect the offense to do in Baltimore when they've decided that the offense doesn't really need to do anything, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I think they're still. They need to put things together for on the offensive line. You saw Lamar get really frustrated and starts yelling at a few of the linemen there, and you gotta hope for more from the rest of those wide receivers because Rashad Bateman's not coming back. Mark Andrews can only do so much, so I mean they have to pray that somebody steps up in that wide receiving core. But the good news is, that should have been the first of at least 5 wins in a row. They're hitting the easiest part of their schedule, so they should be able to kind of get a little momentum going here. But we'll see.
Yeah, looking at the schedule and listen, you never know with these games, especially in today's NFL. But yeah, I mean, even in our division, the Steelers don't look great, right? Yeah. But it is a rivalry game, so you never know. Yeah, we gotta see what Deshaun Watson looks like when he comes back, but that could be a tough game. The first game wasn't a cakewalk, so that could be a potential loss right there. But yeah, and the Bengals, we play them the last game of the season, and I honestly don't think they'll be for anything at that point. We'll already have the division locked up. That's just my opinion.
They should.
So, yeah, they should. They should. So the schedule, it looks favorable. The defense should look really good. The offense should look sufficient. I think Lamar will look fine. But yeah, I'm not happy with how they constructed this team, not around Lamar and around the defense. And
well, that's because that makes absolutely no sense.
No.
Like we said on Coach's stream yesterday, Eric DaCosta gets an F- for putting this team together. It's a joke. Yeah. It is an absolute joke that you've got 2 first-round middle linebackers and a third-round middle linebacker, and nothing at wide receiver.
You got 2 first-round corners. You got a first-round safety. All right, second-round safety that's out right now. He should be coming back, and that's another thing too. Marcus Williams should be coming back at some point this season, so that defense should look even better. Yeah. But man, you put a lot of resources into that defense. Now, yes, Marcus Peters was a first-round pick. We didn't draft him, but we traded for him. We paid Marcus Williams a lot of money. A lot of resources were put into that defense. And the exact opposite was put into the offense. Yeah. I want to read this comment real quick by Top Billing. He says, "I'm tired of the Lamar haters. All these Ravens fans always talking about a missed throw by Lamar, but don't seem to care about actually winning the game." Look, there's nothing wrong with criticizing, making critiques, right? I thought he was off on some of those throws. Yeah. But I grade on the curb, right? You didn't put anything around him. And even when, in fact, you took stuff from him, you traded Hollywood Brown away and did absolutely nothing to replace him. Bateman gets hurt and you do nothing by trade deadline. You pick up Deshaun Jackson and two snaps and he's out the game, right? So you're telling him and everybody else, we're not expecting him to do much. Yeah. So he didn't do much. Well, I mean, he did do much. It just didn't show up on the stat sheet. He did do a lot to keep them in the game. But look, if you're saying the offense doesn't need to do a whole lot and he doesn't give you a whole lot passing, then he's doing his job. It's on defense. And
he had 22 pass attempts. So every single mistake that Lamar makes is magnified in Baltimore because there's no help in Baltimore. They don't have any receivers who can erase a bad throw like other quarterbacks have. They don't have. I mean, Pat Mahomes threw the ball 68 times this past week in their game compared to Lamar's 22. Right? I'm sure you could go through his game and find 5 bad passes, but you're not going to remember because
I saw them
because he threw it 63 other times. Right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just the way it is, and it's part of and I don't think this is intentional, but it's part of Baltimore hanging Lamar out to dry. They have done it. Not only have they not done anything to help him on the field, which is, I mean, just ridiculous. They haven't even done the easier part, which is making sure to shield him from criticism from off the field. And that would seem like the absolute bare minimum you do for your franchise quarterback, and they're not even doing that. They're adding on to it at times. The best case scenario is they're neutral in terms of protecting Lamar from fan and media criticism. So,
I'm gonna touch on that in a second, but let me give a couple of shout out to my man Sterling. Appreciate you coming through.
What's
man.
up, Sterling?
And Brandon says we have a real defensive captain. I agree.
It's funny. I wanted to mention that. I was like, it's weird because they have all of these veteran leaders, but you didn't see a difference in the defense until they got a leader who could play.
Yeah, because all this right here, that's talk. That's inspiring, right? That's cool, but you need somebody that can lead by example. Ray Lewis did a lot of talking, but boy, did he back it up. Right. And yes, our bad. We're not supposed to make Ray Lewis comparisons, but Luke Kuechly. Oh, my bad. We can't make Luke Kuechly comparisons. Those are, those are. But listen. Any really good linebacker, right? They back it up with action, not just words.
Yeah.
Right. Ryan Christensen says, "Hey guys, glad to see Baltimore on the bye week when I have to face LBHT in our fantasy league. I might have a shot now." Wait, which league?
The LGR league.
Oh, wait. You're playing me? Okay. All right. What's not Let me take a look at my lineup here. I can't be. Look, I think I took an L this last week. man.
Things have been rough in fantasy land.
That was my third loss. Hey, it has not been rough because that L turned into a W for me after they tallied up the tackles. I had a narrow victory in our league, in our keeper league against Brandon Buck. I feel for him. He lost by less than a point, but it is what it is. I'll take it. Okay. So to your point, B, about how they're handling Lamar, I think there's a little bit of unprofessionalism going on there. Okay. I know some people are thinking, what? They're professional. They're the most professional team in the league, right?
Yeah.
But I think it goes back to what you're saying before. When you're dealing with the player one-on-one, no agents involved, and people are saying, well, Lamar, he might get his feelings hurt. He might take it personal, emotion. He might get too emotional when they have to tell him some hard truths about himself. And you said it, Lamar is used to the criticism. EDC is not. So who's more likely to get upset when hard truths are told? Let me read this donation real quick. Appreciate you, Henny. He says, shout out to the one tackle by Julius Peppers Jr. Oh, here we go. I object to that. He is talking about Owe.
You can't object to a donation.
No, I don't object to the donation. I accept the donation.
You can't object to the donation. He found a loophole. We got to just move it on. Got to keep it rolling. Appreciate it, Henny. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. So you asked who would be more likely to get upset when both sides are speaking hard truths, right? Because the hard truth is EDC has done a terrible job.
Yes. Lamar is still doing his job and doing his job well.
Yeah.
EDC has done an awful job.
Yes. He's done an awful job. And, if Lamar's taking his little shots, he hasn't really taken any shots at EDC, but he's taking a little shots at the coaching, right? And you see him being visibly upset at times with the play calling, with just the lack of discipline on the O-line, like just little things like that. He's holding up a sign saying pay 8.
Oh, he didn't know what that said.
Yeah. Sure. I think that whole thing was scripted.
And picked it up, read it. Go give me a pen so I can sign this sign that says "Pay me now," and then went out and held it up looking for the owner. Who brought this "Pay 8" sign? I didn't know. I didn't know what it said.
had a cameraman there ready for that iconic shot, right? But yeah, I think he's taking some shots at them, some light jabs, and I just don't think they can handle it. And instead of really being a cheerleader for him, which is what they need to be, even during times of negotiation, because at the end of the day, you do want him on the team.
Mhm.
Negotiating is one thing, right? You're trying to lower the asking price. That's part of bargaining. But at the end of the day, that is who you want, and you need to come to an agreement no matter what it is, and you move forward. But you do want him there, and I don't know if it's if it's subconscious. Well, it is subconscious because we talk about how black quarterbacks get treated. I think this is what's going on, right? But just thinking that he can just do more with less, and you got to build up the other side of the ball is ridiculous. It's outright ridiculous, and you wouldn't do it for just about any other quarterback, right?
Yeah. It's funny because they say they keep thinking he can do more with less, and the fact is he can. He's that great of a player, and he should do like those other great quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, and just say, no, I'm not going to do more with less. I'm going to do less with less, and you're going to take the blame.
Yeah,
that's what he should be doing. But he's going out there and actually playing well still.
Because Aaron Rodgers said, "I'm sick of not having any other wide receivers outside the one great one that I have. I need more, or just trade me. I'm sick of this team. I'm sick of this coaching. Trade me." And they're like, "We'll give you $50 million per year." He said, "Okay, fine." And now,
I'm going to continue to complain.
Right, and then they didn't re-sign his top wide receiver. He looks awful.
Well, he asked to leave. He didn't want to play with Aaron no more.
Yeah. No, I get it, but they didn't replace him. And Aaron Rodgers looks terrible right now.
Didn't they though?
Oh, well, yeah.
They got Sammy Watkins. They got Christian Watson. They got Romeo Doubs. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we hear in Baltimore, right? Like that's quality right there.
Hey, shout out to Money Making Mitch. Appreciate the $5 donation. Says craziest thing about them not getting Lamar help is that they still could have got AJ Brown. Oh, they could have gotten so many players. He said still got Linderbaum with the 23rd pick and got Pickens in the second round. Yep. Then could have added Roquan Smith at the trade deadline. Same team with a better offense. I agree 1,000%. They didn't have to do anything other than to just draft Pickens.
Yeah.
Right. And that made a world of difference right now. But I think they were intentional. I think they just said, look, Lamar, you want to be the highest paid quarterback, all these guarantees. You're going to have to show us that what you can do. And I'll tell you what, he's doing it because, yes, the yards may not be there, but the touchdowns are. Right. I think he's third or fourth.
Well, and the yards are there as well. They're just split between passing and rushing.
Yes, because spoiler alert, he's still leading the team in rushing.
He is the run game. Yeah. So it's a bad situation in Baltimore with the front office and Lamar, but that's something for this offseason, obviously.
Yeah. Shout out to Just Allo says, in order to be consistent throwing the ball, you need to throw the ball. Yes. 22 times isn't enough. How do we expect Lamar to consistently hit passes if he only gets to throw 5 times a quarter? Yes. The Ravens, if this is part of them trying to lower his value, they've already lost, and they're making themselves look like fools because the other teams that are looking for quarterbacks have already made up their mind. If Lamar becomes available, it's going to be a higher bidding war than it was for Deshaun Watson. Okay. Deshaun Watson hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Coach, for a $10 donation. Says, shout out to no Queen slander this week. There will be no Queen slander this week, Coach. I got nothing bad to say about really anybody on defense except for Oweh.
The thing with the whole lowering Lamar's value thing is that whole narrative is it doesn't exist. There's no possible way to lower his value this year.
No.
Because his contract is up. And if you offer him less than what he wants, he'll just say franchise me.
Yeah.
He's going to make $45 million next year if you don't pay him what he wants. You cannot lower his value.
No. And the way he's playing now, his numbers even though it looks like he's a little off, it's looking like his numbers will be very similar to the MVP year, right? He might only be in the 3,000s in passing yards, but he's going to be over 30 touchdowns, right? And over 1,000 yards rushing. It's gonna look similar, and that's with nothing, nothing to throw to. Appreciate the 250 Raven Ron. He says EDC needs to grab OBJ. Don't care about his 4 teams on his list. Everyone got a price. Get Lamar some help. The cap is cap. I agree 1,000%. I don't care. I don't care what he's asking for. Give it to him.
Yeah,
make it work. You always find a way to make it work for defense. Always. All right. Make it work.
Make it work, or did you mean make it enough?
Hashtag can we make it enough. Yes. Hey. Hashtag make it enough.
Yes.
All right. Hashtag make it enough. Find a way to get Lamar some help, because he's going to take this team to the playoffs, and then he's going to say, now I want $60 million a year, and you got to pay him. Shout out to Marco G for the 333. Appreciate that. Says, what's good, fam? LJ has proven he can do more with less, therefore he can do more with more. Yes. Reminds me of my previous employer. Everyone overworked and got paid less, and if you went above and beyond, they expected you to keep doing it for less. No help. A lot of employers are like that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Plug Cap says he has the 4th most passing touchdowns, I think. Yeah, I believe it's it's right in there. 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in there, but he's high up on the list. So yeah, we want to go ahead and switch gears for the moment. Cool. Talk about some Panthers. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just put an emphasis comment up there. He just said hashtag make it enough, hashtag right player, high price. Indeed.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Talk about the Panthers and Falcons real quick. I mean, we all saw the game, the previous game that Carolina lost 37-34. It was a great game. It was an extremely entertaining game. PJ Walker played very well. That throw that he made to DJ Moore to tie the game, that Hail Mary throw. I shouldn't even call it a Hail Mary. I mean, it was just a deep pass that he threw. Like, that's not a throw that you would see quarterbacks make very often. I mean, it was phenomenal. But kicker missed the field goal. Then kicker missed the field goal again. They come away with a loss. I do like the fact that they kept him. I do. And I said it right after the game. Like, he's a good, solid kicker. He had a bad night. Yeah. And you're not gonna get consistent play out of the kicker position if you just cut somebody for making a mistake, right? So I'm glad that they kept him. But now they're coming back. They've got the all black uniforms, the black helmets and everything. They're debuting that on Thursday night because that's the only time they can force people to watch them. I don't think that you're gonna see the same kind of game out of PJ Walker. I don't think that he really has that in him. I think the Panthers will be fired up because of how the last game ended, but I mean, when it comes down to it, PJ's just not a good player. and Steve Wilkes is not a great coach. The defense has been terrible, and on offense, you're just down to DJ Moore really. Deonta Foreman has played well, but he's kind of just a guy. So I don't think they have enough. I don't think they have another 34-point performance in them. And the Falcons should be better this time than they were last time because they've got Cordero Patterson back, who was the centerpiece of their offense. They were playing without him for quite a while. So I am expecting a loss this week. I think it'll be close again, but I don't think they've got enough. I really don't.
Oh, look, Mr. J counters your argument, says, hey, we get Jeremy Chin back. That'll fix everything.
I thought Jeremy Chin he's not playing this week, though.
Oh, he's not playing? Oh,
I think they're holding him out this week. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but I thought they said that they were going to hold him out because it's a short week and all that. But not really a short week for him. He hasn't played in forever. But
Danny says maybe PJ was just a little rusty this game. Can't hold it against him like you didn't hold it against the kicker.
Hey, Danity, how did he play well and then get rusty?
Maybe he was still in shock over the missed field goals. How about that? Oh, B didn't like that. He didn't like that talk.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I wasn't even going to mention that game, but yeah, he played really well against the Falcons, and then he came back the next week, had 9 yards passing, and got benched for Baker Mayfield.
That was pretty bad
against Cincinnati. He was awful.
I think he's going to have a good game tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And yes, Cordell
Patterson. Do you think he's going to have a good game, or do you think he's going to have a good for PJ game? Oh, okay.
Good game.
That tells you everything you need to know right there. That's
I'm not arguing with you. I don't think he's a particularly good quarterback, but he is streaky. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? You know, it's like shooting dice. You don't know when he's going to have a good game. Every now and then he can have a good game, not a good quarterback, right? That's
the difference is PJ doesn't have good games. Like that was legitimately maybe the first good game of his career.
I mean, how many good games has Ryan Fitzpatrick had?
A lot. I mean, he got to start every season inexplicably for 12 different teams over the course of 17 years. Like he had a lot of good games. He just had a lot of terrible games too.
Marco G says, B, do you think if Corral was healthy, he could be your future starter? Nope. That's a good question. He'd be playing right now.
He would be the best quarterback on the team right now, but I don't think that I don't think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think he has too many issues. I think he's a lot like Baker and a lot like Darnold. He thinks he's a better athlete than he is, thinks he has a better arm than he has, makes poor decisions under pressure. Now maybe some of that would have gotten better, but I don't think that he would have been the long-term answer. And I don't think that they were looking for him to be the long-term answer, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Money Making Mitch says, didn't the Panthers lose to the Bengals this week? That is a very kind way to put it.
They did something against the Bengals.
They got obliterated. Shout out to Tracy H. Oh, what's up, Tracy? I didn't even say hi to Tracy. I'm sorry, Tracy. I saw you in the chat. I meant to give you a shout out. B, read that comment, please.
Tracy says, great listen, guys. Keep speaking truth. Thank you very much, Tracy.
Thank you.
The Panthers lost 42-21, and it wasn't even that close. So, yeah.
Ajay said they should just play Baker.
Get out of here, Andre. All right? Get out.
Dave says, I would love that, Marco, but a top pick is in the works, and we know what's next. So this is B's angle. Okay, you guys are sitting there saying, man, B, why are you so hard on them? Like, I thought you were a Panthers fan. Why are you always mad when they lose? Why are you always smiling or mad when they win? And why are you smiling when they lose? Because he is a Panthers fan and he's thinking end game here. Okay. Yes. He's thinking, how can we get better long term? Look, sometimes you got to tank in order to get better, right? If you see a franchise quarterback that could be available, you got to do what you got to do to get them, including making sure that you lose as many games as possible. That's exactly what's going on in Indianapolis right now, right? With Jeff Saturday. As a matter of fact, just a quick little tease here. A quick little tease if I can find it. I didn't upload it. Well, that's on the overtime show. We're gonna be talking a little Jim Irsay and Jeff Saturday and what's going on there. And people are losing their minds. How can he get the job with almost no experience? Because his job is to make sure they stay losing the rest of the season. Frank Reich wasn't that bad to where he should have been fired midseason.
No,
right? Like, I don't think Frank Reich is a bad coach.
No, he's not a bad coach, but like I said, they're in a race to the bottom. They saw an opportunity. I mean, the craziest stat about Sam Ehlinger, who they benched Matt Ryan, they put him in, and they said that that's really the reason that Frank Reich got fired, is because he decided to make that switch, and then it's not going well, so he's out. But Sam Ehlinger started, I believe it was 3 games, had 3 different offensive coordinators. That's insane. Like, people talk about players who have 3 different offensive coordinators in their first 3 years, and he had it in 3. He's having it in 3 weeks. Raven Ron saying, does J.C. Horn travel with the top receiver? That, and I'm not sure. I haven't been able to really dig in like that because I live in West Virginia and I don't really get to see him all that much. But I think that he does at times. But that's something I'll have to look into, Ron.
Okay. What's up, Tanja? She says, "Hey, Jose and Brodny, what's up? Driving and listening. Listen responsibly, Tanja."
Yes. Thank you, Tanja.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming through. RTV is in the house. I see you. He says, "Great show. Stuck in LA traffic." Oh, shout out to RTV from LA. Well, I would say drive responsibly, but you're not going anywhere in that traffic. You're basically in park. So, Davon says, "Tsunami expected here for tomorrow night's game. Going to be messy. That could play into your favor." Okay. Mr. J says, "Okay, another positive. TMJ is stepping up."
No, he isn't.
Wow.
No, I mean, look, I love Mr. J. I do. He is eternally positive. TMJ had like one catch, right?
He's stepping up.
And the funniest part is he had that catch in what he called garbage time for Baker Mayfield, but it wasn't garbage time for Terrace. Okay, you gotta be fair, Jay. You gotta be fair.
And shout out to Dapper Dons for the update. It says Nets versus Knicks game is on. Thank you, Dapper Dons. I need to watch this game very closely because OTR Brandon is a Knicks fan, and if we lose to the Knicks, I will hear from him. Okay.
When you lose to the Knicks, because
we're not
going Vaughn ain't it.
Look, we'll talk about Jacques Vaughn in the overtime show. I disagree with you on Jacques Vaughn. I disagree with you when last year when he was a couple years ago when he was the interim coach.
You know who disagrees with you? Jacques Vaughn's record.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see what it's going to be this year. All right. Look, was it? He never had KD before. All right.
Oh, and there he is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Pull him up. There he is.
Yes,
yes. Right. Look. I had to check the score real quick. I was like, man, if we're down, he's definitely going to be here. But you're down right now, my friend. 14-8. I don't think it's going to go your way tonight, my friend. But I'm sure you'll let me know if it does. Okay. All right. Listen.
That's not true, Jay. I'm always nice to you.
He said, Mr. J says, "That's the nicest thing you said to me, B. I'll take it." Wow.
That's not true.
Wow.
That's all right.
Okay. All right. So we'll talk some more Ravens. I see you guys looks like you're having some side bets on Coach has side bets on 8. They having some side bets right now. I saw Top Bill and said Lamar is on pace for 3,336 yards. Passing, 1,199 yards rushing with 30 plus total touchdowns. I did the math. Yes, you did.
Thank you for doing that because we're going to go ahead and transition right into the mid-season award predictions.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So what do you want to start with? Do you want to go in like reverse order, leave MVP for last, or you want to start with the big guns?
All right. Okay. So, all right, we are giving our predictions. We did this at the beginning of the year. I believe. I don't remember.
Oh man. I just remembered I forgot to put up the picture of Powell.
That's
from the Black History fact, but a little late, but there it is.
Yeah,
my bad.
But it's there. All right, there.
It's there.
Okay, so type along with us. This is going to be like rapid fire, but slower than the slow rapid fire. Type in there. Type your predictions.
Let's start with the rookies.
Okay, but I'm explaining to the audience what we're doing.
Okay, but I was giving the order. That's all right.
Okay. Starting with rookies.
Yeah, we're gonna go rookies. Then we're gonna go offensive and defensive player of the year. Then we're gonna go coach of the year, and then we've got a little kind of bonus. Wow,
Danny said 70 years later in the picture. There you go, Davon. Davon said better late than never.
Thank you, Davon. That's why I like you more than Danity. Always have, always will. But and you know what, Danny? You still looking into Patreon? You still doing your investigation? What's going on? Give me an update on that.
Yeah.
Don't time me on pictures. Give me an
What's
update
up,
into your investigation into Patreon. Yeah. So we're gonna do the coach of the year. We got most surprising and most disappointing players and teams from this season, and then we'll go to MVP and our picks for the conference champions and the Super Bowl winner.
Oh, we're doing disappointing teams. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So rookies.
Rookie of the year. We're going to start off with defensive rookie of the year. My pick, Sauce Gardner. I was pretty skeptical of Sauce. You know, corners usually have a tough transition, but he stepped in and kind of established himself as one of the best corners in the league, rookie or not. So, and I mean, you can't not like the cheesehead look, right, in Green Bay. So yeah, definitely going with Sauce. I think he's running away with that.
I also picked Sauce Gardner. Look at that. I had some pictures ready. B told me, he's like, hey, I had some pictures queued up. I was like, oh no, I don't have anything. But I got a couple. I grabbed a couple. All right. Sauce Gardner. Salute to our friend Deshaun, who was a big advocate for Sauce Gardner being drafted by the Ravens. He said Sauce Gardner was destined to be a Hall of Famer. Tell you what, he's off to a very good start. He's off to a very good start. So shout out to Deshaun if you're watching. You called that one, my friend.
All right, on to
wait. Hold on, chat. Make sure you guys are putting in your your picks. Okay, we got Hendo says sauce. Damon says cheese sauce. Raven Ron says sauce. Brandon Buck says sauce. All right. Yep. Deshaun called it. He did.
Whoa. Hold on. Daddy's saying Brodny can dish it all day, but when I do, all I'm doing is dishing it back to you, Danity. That's all. I'm just giving it back.
We have a different name here. Woolen is coach's pick for rookie.
Tariq Woolen out of Seattle.
Okay. Yep.
He ain't winning it, coach, though. He ain't winning it. He's having a great year, though. But he ain't got the name power. He ain't got the star power. He ain't in New York. You ain't calling him Sauce. All right, on to offensive rookie of the year. This, typically will go to a skill position player. I mean, I think there probably are better selections, but I'm going to say that. Oops, that's the wrong pick there. Where even is it? Oh no, there it is. Dameon Pierce, the running back from the Houston Texans. I know that a lot of people are on Kenneth Walker. I like Pierce because Pierce was showing it from day one. He went in there and won the job, took over, and has been playing consistently all season. Kenneth Walker, I mean, look, he's playing great, but he could not overtake Rashad Penny in Seattle, right? So he got into his position through injury, which, I mean, it happens. But I'm going to go with the guy who won the job right from jump.
Dameon Pierce looks really good. I watched last Thursday when they played the Eagles. Man, he runs hard. He runs with authority. Good vision. So that's a very good pick. I was going to pick Dameon Pierce, but I went with this guy, Chris Olave. And we saw him on Monday. He was really the only person that you saw from that offense do anything. Look, another player who's having an amazing year. Really just out the gate, right? That's why you're not going to see Michael Thomas in New Orleans next year. I mean, look, I told you, I think his injuries are more of him just not wanting to be there. And they said,
he's hurt.
Yeah. Sure. He's hurt. And they're hurt to see him hurt. No, right? Chris Olave. I didn't even look up the stats, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be well over 1,000 yards by the end of the season. He does not play like a rookie at all. Mm-hmm. And getting it done with a caliber quarterback to the likes of Andy Dalton tells you all you need to know about this guy. This is also the person that I want us to draft, by the way.
Why you got to say the likes of Andy Dalton? That's just rude.
Andy Dalton is so washed. Okay. So Hendo says Olave. Darius Simmons says Olave. Breece Hall. RTV says Breece Hall. Like that. Mr. J says Kenneth Walker or Pierce. They are both running away with it. Rim shot. Ryan says Christian Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
Christian Walker. Kenneth Walker. Yeah. Agent E says that boy Sauce been shutting down every receiver he played against. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pierce. Okay. We're not at Coach of the Year yet, Brandon. He says Ime Udoka.
All right. On to Defensive Player of the Year. I apologize. This picture is probably going to hurt your eyes for more than one reason. but it's not a great picture. It's a little blurry. But it is going to be an edge rusher who was drafted in the first round just a year ago, right? Micah Parsons, who is nigh unblockable. He's not leading the league in sacks right now, but he's right up there. He's got, I believe it's 8. And like I said, I mean, people cannot, the offensive linemen cannot keep Micah in front of him. They can't.
He's scary.
He is. He's another one like Sauce who walked in and immediately established himself as one of the best in the league at their position, regardless of age.
Yeah. I was thinking about him too. And then when we talked on Coach's Show about the lack of production from Owe and who we got rid of because Owe is supposed to be a step up from this guy, I said, you know what? He is going to be Defensive Player of the Year, Mr. Matthew Judon.
Mr. Elmo.
Listen, 11.5 sacks already, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. So, yeah, he could have 20 sacks by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's going to lead the league in sacks when it's all said and done. I don't think look, Parsons is going to be right there with them for sure. Mm-hmm. But, Judon was already a complete player. He's more than just a sack specialist. Like he can be out there every down. He can set the edge. And he went to a team that can fully utilize his skills. And yeah, I can see him going over 20 sacks. I can see him leading the league in sacks. I'm going to pick Matt Judon for Defensive Player of the Year. And how are we going to feel as Ravens fans letting that go?
Oh, it was too expensive. So.
Okay.
And you got Justin Houston. Look at him with the fountain of youth and whatnot. So moving on to Offensive Player of the Year. This one's a bit surprising to me. I thought he was not going to have a great year this year, considering the change in team, but he has been absolutely phenomenal. That is Tyreek Hill, who went to Miami and is about 300 yards clear of the number 2 receiver in the league. He's at 1,100 yards for the season, and he has been absolutely dominant, even with the downgrade at quarterback.
I couldn't, I did it kind of on the fly, and I was like, man, I don't know who could be the Offensive Player of the Year. There's a lot of guys doing well. And then I remembered that this guy already has over 1,000 yards receiving, and that is Tyreek Hill. Okay. Now he got about 300 of those yards against us. Okay. Like we padded his stats just a little bit in the fourth quarter. All right. Yeah, man, he's going to have over 2,000 yards. All right. He's going to have that. Well, maybe not over 2,000, but he's going to be close.
Yeah, he's going to get close. Definitely get close. What do we say next? Coach of the Year?
Yes.
So for Coach of the Year, there's a couple of really good candidates for this. But I ended up on this guy because of the just obscene lack of talent on his team. Brian Daboll of the New York Giants. They are 6-2. Daniel Jones is their quarterback. Can none of y'all name one of their wide receivers? Their O-line is not great. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that onto their defense.
Okay. All right. I see.
I considered Saleh as well because Zach Wilson is definitely not it. But they do have talent all over the rest of that roster.
Agent E, how dare you? Tyreek doesn't impress you. I'll tell you what, he doesn't care if you're impressed. He is going to smoke any defense. Okay. You're not impressed by what he did to us in the fourth quarter? It doesn't matter. He still had like 200 yards and like 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter against us. All right.
Tyreek doesn't impress me because I refuse to watch him.
All right. Okay. My pick, this hurts me a little bit because I bombed on this guy. All right. I thought he was going to be straight trash. And his team is undefeated right now. And that is Mr. Sirianni. Yes, I was trying to download a dorkier picture of him, but it wouldn't download. So you get that one, Sirianni. Good job, my friend. You proved me wrong. You're doing a damn good job, and it was a good hire.
Yeah, it's a great hire. So moving on to you want to do most surprising or disappointing first?
Well, I don't have anything downloaded for these. So
okay, well I do. So we'll just go with mine then. Most surprising player in the league this year. Again, there were a lot of good candidates, but I don't think anybody is playing above expectations quite like Geno Smith. Geno has been one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and yeah, nobody really expected that. And he's a guy who was drafted in the second round to a team who didn't want him. With Rex Ryan there, and after the Rex Ryan era, he didn't really get a chance. For years and years and years. And he got to Seattle and, Pete talked him up, but Pete talks everybody up, right? And then they traded for Drew Lock. And I was like, oh, well, it's probably going to end up being Drew. But Geno beat him out, and he's playing better than almost anybody in the league right now. So hats off to Geno. Like he said, they wrote him off, but he ain't right back. Okay.
I like that one. I was going to pick that one, but just for variety's sake, I'm going to say Jalen Hurts. Right?
You would.
And you should say Jalen Hurts too, because you thought he was garbage.
He is garbage.
He is not garbage.
He is garbage.
He is
listen,
playing.
Listen. You can still be garbage and put up numbers if your team gives you Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and AJ Brown.
Listen, we're not talking about Kirk Cousins as an MVP candidate right now, right? And he has everything around him, including some gold chains. Okay.
I want reparations just for having to see that. That was disgusting.
Yeah. So yeah, Jalen Hurts, man. I like Jalen Hurts more than B did, but I didn't think he was going to play like this. But yes, that is what talent will do for you. Absolutely.
Look, I like Jalen Hurts. I just didn't think he was a very good quarterback. But no, he's playing very well. Very well over there. Most disappointing for me, this is a no-brainer because of how he played on the field, and also because I had him on several fantasy teams. This clown, Russell Wilson. It's been just awful watching this dude play football this year. And there doesn't even seem to be any reason. Like you can't even find an excuse for him. He's got the receivers. He's had time. Okay, maybe you can point at the coach, but Russ just looks like he's cooked.
I'm going to say Derek Carr, right? And Ryan Christensen agrees with me. Let's see. Hendo says Rodgers. Danny says disappointing Raiders. Yeah.
That I had the Raiders as my most disappointing team.
Yeah,
I don't think that's on Derek Carr. I think that's on Josh McDaniels.
Emphasis is Kyler Murray. Raymond Ron says Hollywood. Okay. Okay. Well, look, I'm saying Derek Carr. I don't think it's on Derek Carr, but it's still disappointing, right? Like you had a good year last year. Last year, we didn't think that highly of Derek Carr, and then after last year, we said, you know what? We changed our minds. We both said we changed our mind on Derek Carr. He's a quality quarterback. And when they traded for Devontae Adams, we were thinking this guy is going to be right up there, top 5.
Yeah.
And that's just not happening. And yes, a lot of it has to do with a crappy coach. I don't think he's actually that bad, but he's not looking good.
Yeah. Yeah,
so.
I don't get the Hollywood Brown selection other than you hate Hollywood Brown. I mean, he played 6 games. He had 485 yards and 3 touchdowns and no drops.
Yeah,
officially. I know we all watched him drop the ball, but that's not. It seems like you holding a grudge there, Ron.
This is a good cat right here. Oh wait.
But is it the most disappointing to go from 5 sacks down to 1? Is it?
Right. Nah. He still has time. He still has time. Nah. He's doing so many other things out there,
Yeah. So I guess I'll just go ahead and say also my most surprising team. It's right along with the players, Seattle, sitting atop that division at 6-3, thanks in large part to Geno's play. I don't think many people saw that coming, and now also Geno and the emergence of Kenneth Walker. He's played really well as well, but I don't think anybody really had them leading that division at the midway point of the season.
I'm gonna say the Giants, man. The Giants, even though I watched them and they, I'm like, well, it's the Giants. There's nothing special about them. They are finding ways to win, and they keep doing it. Like they beat us, right? They only have 2 losses.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's surprising because I didn't think they had enough to be even competitive at this point of the year. But here they are. So salute to OTR Brandon. Salute to Ferris. That is their teams, and salute to the Giants.
Hey, so now down to the Super Bowl picks. Essentially, who do you have for the
Wait, did you pick,
AFC and NFC?
Who's the most disappointing team? You said the Raiders, right?
The Raiders, thanks to Josh McDaniels, who is on somehow inexplicably is his 3rd head coaching position when he really shouldn't be in the NFL at all.
Yeah. I'm going to say the Steelers, man. I thought they'd be better than this.
But why, though? It seems like it's on you a little bit.
Well, because yes, Ben Roethlisberger retired, but he was already rapidly declining.
Yeah.
And I thought Mitch Trubisky, I didn't think he was going to be great, but I thought he would be solid enough, and that's all they really needed with that team. I just thought they'd be more competitive.
Well, it's one of those things. He's a physically better quarterback, but you can't replace what's up here. Right?
That's true. No, that is true.
He's. I'm not saying that Mitch is dumb or anything, but I mean, Ben Roethlisberger is a 2-time Super Bowl winner and Hall of Famer and everything, and it's a downgrade in terms of the processing and decision making when you go to Trubisky.
Yes,
and then definitely when you get down to baby hands. So for the AFC, we'll stay in the AFC for now. Who do you have winning the AFC championship?
Look, it's the Chiefs, right? I said the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC goes through Kansas City. It's been that way for 4 years, and it's going to be that way again. If you want to get to Super Bowl, you got to go through Kansas City, and I think Kansas City is going to win. They'll probably beat Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. I like Buffalo, but Buffalo is one of those teams too where it's just like they look great until they don't. Right? I mean, any team can be that way nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But for a team to be on top for that, for as long as the Chiefs had, and look, Mahomes ain't going anywhere, right? And they'll probably end up with Odell, if we're being honest. They already they picked up Kadarius Toney. Like they're a team that knows when to peak. They know what they need to do in the playoffs. And I just until I don't see them in an AFC Championship game, I'm always going to pick them.
Yeah. So I'm picking the Chiefs as well. I think they are actually going. I think the road is actually going to go through Kansas City. I think they're going to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're tied right now with Buffalo. Obviously, Buffalo beat them, but Buffalo is 0-2 in their division. They lost to Miami and the Jets. So, I mean, there's not even a guarantee that Buffalo wins that division, let alone gets the home field advantage. You mentioned Kadarius Toney. I think he is going to emerge as a major difference maker in the playoffs. And yeah, so I think that Pat Mahomes is playing great, obviously. So I think that they're gonna ride through the AFC and represent that conference in the Super Bowl yet again. For the NFC, the NFC has been just a little weird. Like they kind of lack contenders. The defending Super Bowl champions aren't looking very good.
They don't look good now.
San Francisco is not looking great. I don't really believe in Seattle like that. I definitely don't believe in Minnesota. Dallas always seems to play worse than you would expect and not get to where you expect them to get to. So I am going to go almost by default with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles coming out.
That's my pick, the Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles, man. So Chiefs, Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
We picked, Chiefs, Eagles. Super Bowl. All right.
And who are you taking to win it?
I got the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, same here. I got the Chiefs. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts. Look, Jalen Hurts has been a big game quarterback throughout his whole career, right? Going back to college. He's always stepped up in big games, but I mean, you're also going up against Pat Mahomes, right? So I'm going to take Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, and I think that this will be a valuable learning experience for the Eagles moving forward.
Yeah. He said Panthers. 49ers and Chiefs again. Danny says, I believe Lamar and defense will. They could, right?
Like will what?
Win
playoff games? No.
Yeah, I mean they could. It wouldn't surprise me, but it surprised me a little bit because
it would surprise me a lot.
It wouldn't surprise me a lot. It surprised me a little bit because Lamar is a great player and he could just turn it on in the playoffs, right? All it would take is Lamar to make a few plays and receivers hold on to the ball just a little bit more, right? They execute just a little bit,
and we're done. And the dream is over.
No. Seriously, I mean, this is. I mean, any team. I mean, the last time we won a Super Bowl, I didn't think we were making the playoffs. We shouldn't have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they were going to play the way they played when they got there, right?
Yeah, but they had talented guys, though.
They did. But what I'm saying is, the way we play, we hold on to the ball for a long time. We run the clock. If they put together a few more scoring drives than they usually do, and the defense plays the way they should play, it could happen, right? It's not. I don't expect them to. That's why I said I'd be a little surprised if they did it, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, I'm shocked, surprised either, right? Just because like we've seen it happen before. It's not, especially getting it done with defense nowadays, that doesn't really happen. But I wouldn't be shocked by it. But no, I absolutely don't expect that to happen.
Yeah, I don't think they have the players on defense or in the run game to make an actual Super Bowl run. Yeah. I think I've got their cap at the second round.
Okay.
For Baltimore this year.
Yeah.
So on to the big award, I guess, the season MVP. Who do you have winning league MVP this season?
The quarterback of the team that I have winning the Super Bowl. That guy right there. Okay. Mr. Pat Mr. Pat Mahomes. Yes. Currently leading the league in touchdowns. I'm not sure what he has in yards, but he's always up there. And I like sometimes you forget that Tyreek Hill even played there. The way he throws his touchdowns all over the place. Yeah, I got Pat Mahomes, man.
Okay.
Coach has Mahomes. Davon has Kirk Cousins. He's playing well.
No, he isn't.
Brandon says Lamar.
You know what? I appreciate you, Brandon, because my pick is Lamar Jackson.
Hey,
listen, I know that we over scrutinize every single thing Lamar does, but like I believe it was Plugcap said in the chat before, he's about 4th or 5th in the league in passing touchdowns. He's 8th in the league in rushing yards. The team is 6-3 now. When the reality is, every single Ravens fan agrees, if he didn't play, they'd be 0-9.
Yes.
He is the very definition of the most valuable player. The entire offense is on his shoulders every single week, and he comes through more often than not. Even in their 3 losses, shut up, Danny. All right,
Danny said, Brodny, finally some respect.
even in their 3 losses, they had double-digit leads in each one of those games, right? And that's all thanks to number 8. I know they're not going to give it to him because they're really on the one. Pat Mahomes is the leader right now in terms of odds, and the media is really on the Josh Allen train. They're trying to ram that through, but my pick is Lamar Jackson.
This is what I'm talking about, Marco G. Be bold with it, okay? Man up. Zach Wilson. Let's go.
He gets MVP for somehow making the playoffs without doing a single thing on offense.
RTV says Hurts. Yeah. Yeah. So nobody's picking Josh Allen.
Oh.
He
said it himself. He's playing like
he had a bad game, but this is this is what we say, man. Like when you watch other teams play, even the top quarterbacks are gonna play bad through parts of the season, right? Yeah. Josh Allen will absolutely be there at the end of the year.
Oh, for sure. I don't know how it always happens, but it always seems like the AFC just ends up with all of the top quarterbacks in the league. Right? you got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Lamar, they've got Deshaun coming back next week. I mean, you got Justin Herbert, you got Joe Burrow. How's the NFC even going to compete? Jalen Hurts? Really?
I don't know.
Well, I have the answer for you, coincidentally. Bryce Young in Carolina next year. That's how.
Oh, there you go. Shaheen says my MVP is Matt Rule because he may be the reason for the next Panthers franchise QB. There you go.
That's the Jimmy Clausen Award, is what that is. Jimmy was so bad that we got Cam the next year.
Okay, all right. Now we got to speed this up because we're over an hour and we have to do our rapid fire picks.
We don't like that.
We don't like that.
All right, so let me get the
rapid fire time, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. All right, now you need to now you need to type fast. Okay, we're gonna go fast. You need to type fast. This isn't gonna be long-winded. We're gonna try to do this in less than 10 minutes.
Okay? I mean, it's not a lofty goal. All right,
it's not.
Let's lower the bar a little bit or raise it, depending on how you look at it.
Okay.
Say we'll do it in 2 minutes. All right.
Let's go.
Okay. Atlanta, Carolina, taking Atlanta.
What's your score?
24-20.
Carolina. 30-27 overtime. Boom.
Ridiculous. Seattle versus Tampa Bay. Geno's good. Tom is bad. Taking Seattle.
I'm taking Seattle as well.
Minnesota at Buffalo. Josh Allen is hurt. Keenum is on the case, but it's not going to be enough. I'm taking Minnesota in the upset.
No, I got Buffalo.
Detroit at Chicago. Justin Fields is on fire. Taking Chicago.
Yep, Chicago.
Denver, they're starting my most disappointing player, so going with Tennessee in that one.
I'm picking Denver.
Jacksonville at Kansas City. Don't think the Jaguars are quite there yet. Taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs big.
Cleveland at Miami. I think Miami gets in one more win before Deshaun comes back and starts wrecking shop for the Browns.
Yep, got Miami.
Houston at the Giants. Houston's the worst, and the Giants are inexplicably not, so we're taking the Giants there.
Man, yeah, Giants.
New Orleans Saints, very disappointing. Pittsburgh Steelers, very disappointing. But I'm going to take the Saints because Pittsburgh's talking about taking the ball out of Najee Harris's hands, and that's not going to work.
I'm picking the Steelers at home.
Colts at the Raiders. They're starting Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday was very insulting towards the Raiders, so I'm going to say they step up and win one for their coach. Raiders over the Colts.
Oh, yeah, I got the Raiders.
Dallas at Green Bay. Dallas is going to absolutely eviscerate the Packers.
Yeah, that might be a 3-score win.
Arizona at the Rams. I wish that they could both lose, but I'm going to say the Rams, even if Stafford doesn't play.
No, I got Arizona.
LA Chargers at the San Francisco 49ers. This is kind of a must-win for both teams. I think that Justin Herbert breaks out, has a big game, and gets the win on the road.
Yeah, the Chargers, they can't afford to drop too many more games if they're trying to make the playoffs. I got the Chargers.
And last, we got Washington at Philadelphia. There's zero chance that on a Monday night, Philly loses their first game to a team called the Commies. Going with Eagles.
Yep, Eagles. 9-0.
And we did it in under 3 minutes. Not the 2, but we did it under 3. Yes. Slow clap for both of us.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you to the chat for the fast typing. They're typing so fast I could barely keep up with it. Great job, ladies and gentlemen. That's how rapid fire should go. Yes. Boo. Why are we getting booed?
What?
I don't like that. Okay, all right. Bonus time is time for bonus time. We'll hang out for a few minutes. Anything you want to talk about, put it in the comments, and we'll talk about it. And then we're going to hit up the overtime show. If you want to be a part of overtime show, let's bring this back up.
That's what I was clicking on.
Oh, well, I clicked on it. There you go. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Okay. That's where you can find the overtime show, and you can find ways to support us. Okay. We have 3 tiers, and we'll break down the tiers real quick.
And we have the $3 tier, which is a kind of a general support tier, but also gets you into the NFL Pick'em League, where we give away a custom LBHT trophy at the end of the season. We have the $10 tier, which gets you the LBHT Crew coin, which Jose has there. Or doesn't. He does have it. And that also gets you into our fantasy football leagues. We have a redraft league that we do every year. We also have a dynasty league. And if there's enough interest, we'll start up a second dynasty league as well. And for that, the champion gets the highly coveted, I'm going to say coveted again because I'm trying to find the picture and I cannot find it. There it is.
Championship belt?
The championship belt for the LCFL. And as you can see on the sides, the winner gets to pick or put their logo onto the championship belt. Thank you for that, Deshaun.
Yes.
Yes, and then we have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show and our other podcast, Ring Kings podcast, that we do with OTR Mike. That gets you everything that I just mentioned, as well as our custom poker set featuring our top 25 boxers of all time. And all of the tiers will get you into the overtime show that we do every week after this show and into our Discord channel.
Yes. So lots of good stuff there. Also, if you like my shirt, okay, the blue screen doesn't give you the full picture here. So let me show you what is on my shirt. This is it right here. Okay. This is what it actually looks like when you buy this in real life. Okay. That is our Ravens Baltimore City t-shirt that is on sale. Okay. We also have a Panthers design. I thought I uploaded it. I don't see it here. I'm about to put it up, but all that is available at LBHTShow.com/shop. And you see what these unpaid models are wearing right here. Well, paid by somebody, but not by us. But the gear that they're wearing, minus that jacket, I don't know why she's wearing that jacket. That's not LBHT approved. But everything else you can find on the store and a whole lot more. So go over to LBHTShow.com/shop and get you some merch. All right. And you notice the Ring Kings apparel that this lovely couple is wearing. That is for our other channel, Ring Kings podcast, that we do with Mr. OTR Mike. Okay. We put out a new episode every Monday on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. All right. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you follow. If you are an audio listener for all this stuff, if you're an audio listener, make sure you follow us and you give us a 5-star review. That really helps us grow. Okay. And speaking of OTR Mike, Open Mic with OTR Mike. That is the new podcast that's also available wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, he has a YouTube channel, Open Mic with OTR Mike. He puts out a new episode every Monday as well. So lots of things going on Mondays. All right. I know it's a tough day of the week. Yeah, get up, get back to work. But by the time you're up and ready to go, Open Mic with OTR Mike, that new episode will be out to get your day started. So make sure you subscribe, follow, leave a 5-star review. All right. Bonus time. Yeah. Let's go.
Marco G says, do you think the Lakers will make a move by the deadline? By the deadline for sure. I'm hoping they make a move before Thanksgiving because it's not going well.
They should have made a move yesterday.
I want them to move Russell Westbrook for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Go ahead and move them picks. I don't care about draft picks, 3 and 4 years out. I do think they'll do something. Apparently, they're listening to offers for other players as well. Meaning like Anthony Davis. That would be ideal.
Other players.
That would be ideal because he's just not living up to what they thought he was going to be when they brought him to LA. But I don't know what you can realistically get for Anthony Davis at this point. But so I think that if they made the Russell Westbrook trade, which would get them another legitimate big man and get them a really good shooter in Buddy Hield, they would be able to start to turn things around. We'll see. But I do think that definitely they'll make a move before the deadline. Yes.
I think you'd be surprised what you can get for Anthony Davis. I think you could get a pretty good haul. Look what Rudy Gobert went for.
Yeah, those are all picks.
Well, I mean,
that ain't going to help you right now.
If you're trading Anthony Davis, you're not. I don't think they're really. I just don't think they're really trying to compete. Anthony Davis is 29 years old. Like, I mean, who knows? Who knows? You can bring in some other players. I'm not saying that they can't compete, but you can get a pool for Anthony Davis. You can get a pool. Now let me ask you this: if you get Buddy Hield and who's the other player?
Miles Turner.
Oh, that's right, Miles Turner. Do you think that will be enough for you guys to like seriously compete? Maybe not be the favorites, but seriously compete in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's a playoff team. I think that's a good playoff team. And it's just going to come down to at that point if LeBron and AD are healthy and playing at their best. But they have to get somebody on the floor who could shoot. They have to. I don't know why this is a multi-year problem for an NBA franchise to get players who can make NBA shots. But again, that's why I said they're like the NFL Ravens. They ignore 3-point shooting the way the Ravens ignore wide receivers, and it's infuriating.
Yeah. Add to Pop says, you see Sean Payton recruiting Lamar. Recruiting him where? Sean Payton don't have a job.
Yeah, he just said that he they're both might be free agents. He's just talking.
Oh.
He's just talking.
And listen to Danny. Don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. All right.
Brandon says, who gets fired next? I'm gonna say it's Josh McDaniels. That's going worse than anybody could have imagined over there in Las Vegas. So I think Josh is the next to go.
Do you think he could get fired mid-season in his first year?
I think he should. I don't know how much money they paid him though, how much guaranteed money he's got. So that could be a hindrance because that dude's a broke boy over there.
Yeah, Mark is of the poorest,
yeah.
poorest of the wealthiest.
Yeah. So with that in consideration, Cliff Kingsbury is right there as well. But on merit, it should be Josh McDaniels.
Who is doing worse around the league? Because some of these teams that are bad, I think the coaches are safe. Like obviously, Doug Peterson just got there, and they started out hot. They've been kind of tripping up lately, but I don't think there's any threat of him going anywhere.
What do you think about LaFleur? You think he's gonna be safe over there in Green Bay?
It all depends, right? Like it depends what kind of game that Aaron Rodgers wants to play at the end of the year. If it's one of those like, no, I'm definitely leaving, and the organization is sick of him, which they must be, right? And they finally want to part ways, he's fine. If he says, well, I'm staying because I'm going to honor my contract, meaning I want all my money, but I don't really want to play for LaFleur, right? Yeah. Sorry, you got to go, man. I'm sorry. We'll bring you back after this jerk is gone. But
I think he's safe either way. I don't think they're feeling the Aaron Rodgers act anymore.
I take it back. I think he quits. I don't think he wants to coach Aaron Rodgers. He's like, he's coming back. All right, I'm gonna retire. Just call me when he you know who? Okay, surprise firing. I could tell you surprise firing. Cincinnati's coach. What's his name? Taylor.
I always forget his name.
If they miss
in the Super Bowl,
I know. It's Taylor? Something Taylor.
Zach
Taylor.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor. If they miss the playoffs, He's out.
They're
He's
not going to
out.
miss the playoffs, though. They're not going to miss it.
There were talks of how he's not a good coach. He should have been fired last year before they made the Super Bowl. If they don't make the playoffs, I picked them to win the division.
Yeah,
that's already not going to happen. What, they 0-3 in the division?
They're only a game back.
Yeah, but they're 0-3. They're 0-3 in division.
But it doesn't matter if they just make up those 2 games.
That's true. If they don't make the playoffs, I think he gets fired.
I think he's safe. But to be clear, the next person being fired, I think, again, is going to be Josh McDaniels or Cliff Kingsbury if the money's too much.
I think Cliff is gone. They just paid Kyler Murray, and he's like, I'm not doing homework. Just get rid of this guy. All right. What are you reading here, B?
No, I'm just looking through the comments, seeing if there's any other questions.
Brandon says, I wish Lamar would say that about Greg and John. Who knows what he's saying behind the scenes?
Yeah.
All right.
You say something in public, put some pressure.
Yeah.
Danity, no.
Will the Ravens win out?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. They're the Ravens. You know they don't win that many games in a row.
Well, and Davon, I like this question. He said, "Where can I get that done Egyptian cotton? The Egyptian like cotton is what he's talking about here. It does feel it is good quality. Yeah. So once again, LBHTShow.com/shop. Oh, look who's here, Mr. Ferris says, I hate Cliff Kingsbury. Man, Ferris, you have strong feelings about people that you don't know. I don't hate the man, I don't know him. He might be a very nice person. I think he's a bad football coach. I don't hate him though.
Yeah. Darius asks, are you impressed with the Ravens wins this season? Not a one of them. No.
I like the win on Monday, but impressed? I want to say I'm impressed. They played a bad team.
They haven't played an impressive game yet. Had they held on to beat Buffalo or I wouldn't even say held on to beat Miami. If they had kind of kept that going and beat Miami, that would have been impressive. But they have not been impressive in their wins.
The best win probably is against the Jets. Yeah. And that was at the very beginning of the season. And I don't think if we play the Jets right now, we would necessarily win.
Right.
So, all right. Is that it? Oh, a couple more. Okay, let's read Add to Pop. Add to Pop. Shout out to you, my friend. It says Josh Allen has played really bad the last 2 weeks, but they don't say nothing. But when Lamar plays bad, it's all over the internet, and they always blame him. But Josh gets a pass every time. Yeah. Yeah. I don't need to add more to that. That is correct. Marco G says Bengals had one Cinderella run, then came back down to earth. I don't think they're done.
They're 5-4. They're 1 game behind Baltimore.
Yeah.
They just had a shaky start to the season. They're fine.
I'm just saying, if they don't make the playoffs, there'll be problems. That loss to the Browns was pretty bad for them.
It was, and the Steelers.
Yeah,
it's a terrible loss also.
Yeah. Shaheen says, why nobody's criticizing Kyle Murray? If it was Lamar, he would have gotten destroyed by now. Look, we have a video we put out about the media's obsession with Lamar Jackson. You guys should check that out if you haven't already. And it breaks down, their obsession with Lamar. Obviously, the obvious one is race, right? Black quarterbacks are always viewed differently, and he's breaking a lot of those narratives, right? So it's polarizing in that way. But also, in particularly with him, it was well, he should really be a wide receiver. That narrative was started by Bill Polian, and he kind of echoed the opinion out there. Bill Polian wasn't out there on his own with that, right? He was kind of one of the more vocal ones. I think Charlie Casserly said something similar to that. But that was kind of the thought with athletic black quarterbacks, is that it doesn't matter how good of a passer they are. Look how athletic they are. They shouldn't be throwing the ball. They should be running routes. And Lamar had to work very hard to break those narratives and go as far to not run the 40 time, only do passing drills at the combine, right? To do those things, to say, hey, look, you're going to look at me as a quarterback. I'm not doing anything else. And he still almost didn't get drafted in the first round. It was only because we traded up back into the first round that we got him at the very end. So there's a lot of people with egg on their face now because they went so hard against him and how he wasn't going to be the type of player he was. He ended up going, becoming the MVP in the second year. So they're embarrassed. So that's the second thing, right? Just they weren't just wrong. They were very, very wrong. And a lot of people got called out about that. So they're going to take their little shots every now and then when they can, so they can kind of, establish a little, a little bit of credibility back with their criticism. So that's part of it. And also, man, look, he gets clicks, right? Mm-hmm. Josh Allen doesn't get clicks, right? You can criticize Josh Allen. Nobody's going to click on that story. You say something about Lamar, people are going to click on that story.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Let's see. Panthers need to hire. Oh, go ahead.
Raven on to how many points the Lakers getting clapped for tonight. The Clippers are one of the worst offenses in the league, so probably like 120.
Speaking of getting clapped, my good friend, Mr. OTR Brandon was in here earlier, and he was saying,
I was wondering if you saw the floor.
I was just like, man, my good friend Brandon, he's not in here, and just the show just feels empty without him. I wonder why he's not in the chat. Well, I'll tell you why he's not in the chat. They are down big, 69-44 at half. Let's go. We still run New York. That's right. Lamar's box office, so media can't stop talking about him. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even the Ravens didn't believe in him because they chose Hayden Hurst before him. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And if they did, they would have took him with that 16th pick. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you don't play games with your franchise quarterback. You don't play those kind of games.
Yeah, no, they didn't really believe in him. But Ozzie said, "All right, look, I love how Harbaugh kind of throws his name out there. Like, yeah, I was saying, like, why not? Let's go get him. I don't think you're really in on that, Harbaugh. I think Ozzie said this is a move we're making. Ferris says, no, you don't. You will never run New York, but we do. The score says we do.
Well,
record says we do.
Tell me first, who does then? Because it ain't the Knicks.
It's TBD, I guess. All right. Listen, we are at an hour and a half mark. Okay. # no 2 hours over here.
That's right.
We have an overtime show. Let me pull this up real quick. So I do have the clip. I just didn't upload it. Let me see if I can do this real quick. But yes, the overtime show. Oh no, it won't let me do it. I had to delete some stuff. See, it's the Bud Crawford clips. That's what it is. It's the Bud Crawford clips. It won't let me upload it because we had some fun with dissecting Bud Crawford over the weekend. If you're a boxing fan, go check out our latest Ring Kings podcast episode discussing what's going on with that. All right, I got it up here.
My bad, Ferris. That's the comment that gets highlighted. I had a Carolina Panthers question. Let me go. I found the Panthers question.
Before you put that up there, okay, a little sneak peek of the overtime show. There it is. Jeff Saturday and Israel Adesanya. He's got a big fight coming up. Israel Adesanya is one of the most dominant fighters in the UFC right now. But he is facing somebody who has beaten him twice, including a KO victory on Israel Adesanya back in his kickboxing days. Mm-hmm. And this guy, Alex Pereira, has been on a tear in the UFC. Will he continue that against Izzy, or does it come to an end? Does the hype job come to an end? OTR Mike really likes Alex Pereira. He's a very skilled fighter. He's looked very dangerous so far. And, will this be – look, this won't be the first time that Israel Adesanya has fought fighters that look very scary, and he's put them away, no problem.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. This should be an interesting fight, and it's a good card as well. So we're going to discuss that in the overtime show. Ferris.
He says, here's a Carolina question. Where do you think you guys are going head coaching wise? In terms of like specific candidates, I mean, I think it's too early, but I think they are going with an offensive minded head coach. I think that they do want to find finally their franchise quarterback and start building around whoever that is, Bryce Young. I would like to see Byron Leftwich. I would like to see Eric Bieniemy. I would like to see even Ken Dorsey. But like I said, it's too early. I don't really want Sean Payton. I'm not a fan of trying to reach back in time to pluck a coach and drop him and bring him back and see if they can recreate the magic. I don't really like that. So I'd prefer one of the up and coming guys. But yeah, they're going to go the offensive route.
I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be Sean Payton. Right,
it's not going to be Sean Payton. You don't want to coach there.
Listen. Let me get my my Suge Knight 323 conspiracy theory meme up here. Where is it? Okay, let me explain to you what's going to happen right here. Okay, let me explain to you what's happening. All right, Sean Payton is out here recruiting Lamar Jackson right now. Okay. Saying, hey, we're both gonna be free agents, huh? What if we you know what I'm saying? Right? What do we know about the Panthers? David Tepper wanted from day one to make a big splash at
but
QB.
He's a coward.
Look, yeah, he got a little cold feet there, right? But being that close to getting Deshaun Watson and falling short and looking at how the season is now, he's sitting there thinking, next time I'm in this position, whatever it takes. And I'm pretty sure he's made the call to Sean Payton. It says, Sean Payton, go get your QB. Go get him.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say I disagree because, look, one, I don't think Sean Payton is interested in Carolina. I think there's going to be better jobs available.
I think he's interested in Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but I don't think Lamar is interested in Carolina either. But here's the thing. I would agree that could be possible if they had traded Brian Burns and loaded up on draft picks to make a Lamar deal, but they didn't.
Well, I didn't say they were geniuses over there, right?
They're cowards.
I think that might be the intention, though.
Nah,
Michael G, do you guys think Lamar is too nice for his own good? No, I think he's playing everything perfectly. He's very professional.
He's very nice in the media because I think he is a nice person.
Yes. I'm not saying he's mean, but
I think he likes being out in the community. I think he enjoys being around the fans and everything. And I think he's endearing himself to Ravens fans and I mean just and NFL fans at large, right? And I think that he's not very nice behind the scenes where he shouldn't be, right? I mean, he's not handling the negotiation in a nice manner. I wouldn't say if he was doing that, he would have given in already, right? No. I think he's like you said, he's playing just the way he needs to. He's being himself. He's being very professional. He's being nice with the fans and everything. But when it comes to getting his money, he's drawing hard lines.
And that's the biggest hold right now is that the organization is taken back by how well he's handling negotiations. They weren't ready for it. Everybody trying to make it seem like, oh, Lamar, like he won't be able to handle all this. They can't handle the professionalism on his side. They can't handle how well he's handling his business and how he just keeps winning. Because as it stands right now, he's set to make a lot more money than he would have made just signing, getting a agent and signing last year. And all he did was say, I'm going to wait. And he's going to do the same thing this offseason. They're going to have to tag him, and he's going to wait until Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert get their deals done, because I think both of those quarterbacks will get their deals done. And listen, man, there is a more than a 50-50 chance that at least one of them isn't making the playoffs, Justin Herbert. And look,
Herbert's in right now, man.
There's a strong chance that both don't make the playoffs. So to see them get huge deals, which they should get, but to see those two get huge deals and not make the playoffs, we're looking at 60 mil per year. Okay. What did Brandon say? He said that he made a Dion comment. I missed it. I'm sorry. Oh, he said Sanders said he can't coach NFL divas. Well, yeah. I mean, how often do you like talking to yourself in the mirror? Right? I mean, no, I understand that. That makes sense. All right.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want any part of Dion. He's a con man. He's out for Dion.
Yeah. I'm not gonna call him a con man. I think he's very egotistical. I don't think he's a con man. All right.
Definitely a con man.
No, he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job at Jackson State.
Yeah, that's cool. Con man can do good jobs too.
Okay, look. See, they get us rambling again. Hour and 40 minutes. We're wrapping this up. Hey, Rock, I see you in there, man. Come over to the Overtime Show. Yes, Overtime is getting ready to start. Patrons, get ready. We're gonna fire it up. Everybody else, thank you so much. Man, this was fun. And I'm sure we'll come up with something to talk about on the bye week. I'm positive we will, because we're going to be doing a show. Okay.
Maybe we just want to do a show.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Take a week off. No, I don't think they think that's cool.
I think they'll think that's very cool.
All right, B, are you ready?
I am ready.
He is ready. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Had a lot of fun. And listen, the Ravens are on a bye. The Panthers play tomorrow. Make sure you watch them. Support, okay? Give B moral support one way or another, okay? And on Sunday, watch some other games, okay? There's a lot of good football out there, a lot of good football players, a lot of good football teams. Go watch some of them, okay? But that is it. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Peace out.